Lokotz. Welcome to Spirit of Color on Star Nation's Radio Network. Thanks for being with us tonight. We got just a little bit of a late start tonight. Such exciting stuff going on at Star Nations all the time. So, we're getting used to this new studio and all of that. And so we're trying to be flexible and try to smile and have fun at the same time. So tonight, it tested our communication skills, long distance, because we are all over the place. I'm in the state of Wisconsin. Minnie Kansman, one of my co-hosts. Minnie Kansman is in Michigan. Minnie, are you there?
Yep, I'm here in Michigan.
Okay, Donna, can you put up Minnie's solo too, please? If you can bring her bio picture up. And our wonderful Donna Thompson is our driver for tonight.
Driving the bus.
She's driving the bus tonight. She's producing.
Everybody.
Okay, and so Donna, bring yourself in if you haven't done that already, because then we'll have a split screen. There we go. And then you can put my title on if you want. You can put that on, show on my picture. Yeah.
I don't have those.
Okay, so
As well.
that's okay. That's all right. So anyway, what we're going to do is Donna's going to work on bringing in Minnie's bio picture into the studio. Minnie is with us via telephone tonight because Minnie lives in a wonderful, beautiful place in Michigan. But that doesn't mean that she always has really good internet.
Right.
So, the three of us really, we really work well with being together and having each other's back. And so we're getting a little bit of a feedback, right? Okay. So tonight's show on Spirit of Color is all about color. The title of our show is Colorful Dance Regalia. And how did this even come about, right? I mean, wait till you hear about this one, because it is colors everywhere in our world, right? It is. And so what's coming up soon in next month in November is Native American Heritage Month. And so what we try to do is we try to cover information in our show before the coming up, because we also use this show as part of our magazine articles. And so what we wanted to do was talk about color tonight and dance regalia. And of course, when we're talking about that, we have to talk about powwows and you have to talk about dance. And so that's what we had done, was pull together some information for you about the spiritual meaning of color in dance regalia. So anyway, we're also going to touch a little bit about Halloween as well, because as a Native American, it gives me a chance to talk a little bit about using Native American dance regalia as a costume. And so we get to talk about that just a little bit later on in the show. So Donna, did you get the bio picture yet?
No, I have to take the picture.
Okay. All right. Let's see if I can. So you went to the little box that says add photo from your timeline.
All right. Okay, give me another minute. I think I can.
Okay. All right. She'll get it done. She's a good bus driver. She's making sure that we're all in our seats and have our seatbelts on too. Because right now she's driving a stick shift bus. Oh yeah. And really, when you're learning something new, you can kind of talk about it from the standpoint of either learning a language, right, a brand new language, and you're just trying to figure out, where all the words go, and there's many, and learning how to conjugate those verbs and all of that, right? It's kind of the same thing. Learning a new language, but it's also kind of like learning how to drive a stick shift car when you're learning how to run a new studio. You got all these buttons and where you have to go out to different files to get things and bring them in, and making sure everybody's audio is working well. And so you're thinking, how can I do all of this? Well, when we learned how to drive a stick shift car, we went through the same thing. It's like, you want me to do what, when, all at the same time. And given a couple of months in practice, you're rolling down the window, you're futzing with the radio, you're shifting the car, and you're talking to somebody.
Yeah.
And so it's just a matter of practice and a little time. All right, so we're going to get started. Usually what happens at the beginning of our shows is that we do a little bit of a centering and prayer. And I think that would really be nice tonight, don't you?
Very good idea.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. All right. So, I'm gonna be using one of my drums. And this happens to be my Remo drum, because the weather here has been kind of rainy and a little damp. And so I just wanted to make sure that we had a good drum sound tonight and nothing that was sounding kind of thuddy. And so we're going to call in the directions, and we're going to get settled in, and we're going to talk about color and dance regalia. So here we go. So if you could do this for me, wherever you are, if you're sitting in a chair, if you can put your feet flat on the floor, if you can do that comfortably, and your back as straight as possible. If you're sitting on the floor, just stay where you're at. Get comfortable. You're right where you need to be. Take a nice deep breath in. And let it out. Feels good just to do that. We're going to do that one more time. Nice deep breath in. There we go. It feels good. Feels good. All right. And then we'll get ready to call in the directions. Mauna, Earth Maker, Creator of all things, we humbly ask for your presence in our sacred circle here tonight as we share about the spirit of color and what color means to us in our dance regalia. We ask you to please come. Miigwech, thank you. We call to the spirit of the East, the spirit of air, the spirit of thought. We humbly ask for you to come and spend some time with us in our sacred circle here tonight so that we may have balanced thoughts as we share about the spirit of color in our dance regalia. And we ask you to please come. Miigwech, thank you. I call to the spirit of the South, the spirit of fire, the spirit of energy. I humbly ask for your presence in our sacred circle here tonight so that we may have balanced energies as we share about the spirit of color in our dance regalia. And I ask you to please come. Miigwech, thank you. And I call to the spirit of the West, the spirit of water, the spirit of emotion. I humbly ask for your presence in our sacred circle here tonight so that we may have balanced emotions as we share about the spirit of color and how it resides in our dance regalia, even from our ancestors through our lineage. I ask you to please come. Miigwech, thank you. And we call to the spirit of the North, the spirit of balance, stability, and wisdom. We humbly ask for your presence in our sacred circle here tonight so that we may have balance, stability, and to recognize our own wisdom and the wisdom of each other. And I ask you to please come as we share about the spirit of color in our dance regalia. Miigwech, Iguian. And I also call to Grandmother Earth, Grandmother Kokmis Kikan, Unchimaka. Grandmother, we ask you to please come to us, to be close to us tonight, so that we may feel your presence with us, as we send you our love and ask that you be with us to hold us close to you as we share about the spirit of color and the dance regalia. And we ask you to please come. Miigwech, thank you. We also call to Grandfather Sky. Misho, please come close so that we may feel your energy. As we send you our love, we ask that you please light our path with the moon, the stars, the sun, as we share about the spirit of color in our dance regalia. And we ask you to please come. Miigwech, thank you. Thank you. And we also call to our guides, guardians, angels, teachers, allies, all those who work with us for our highest good and the highest good of all. We ask you to please come and be with us tonight, to share with us, to help us to share about the spirit of color in our dance regalias from our lineage, from our heritage. And we ask you to please come. Thank you. Thank you. Igwian. Miigwech, ahaw. That felt good. I don't know about you guys, but that felt good.
That was needed. Yes.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
Thank you, Neshi.
You're welcome. You're welcome. You know, and it's just that groundedness, that's consciously bringing our awareness back to the present moment. You know, instead of spending our time racing forward or trying to figure out what just happened. Everything's fine right in the present moment. So the spirit of color in the dance regalia, and how this came, you know, was about the Native American Heritage Month. And for me, as a Native American woman, to be able to talk about color in Native America, you know, my heart and my thoughts go to a powwow. So how many people have actually been to a powwow? You know, they're social in nature. There is ceremony to them, because that's just the way life is in Native America. Somebody's going to open it with a prayer, you know, and somebody's going to bless the drums. You know, and we all, when we learn how to dance, we dance from the place of, we know that when we're dancing to the beat of the drum, we're dancing to the beat of Grandmother Earth. And so what all of our thoughts, all of our emotions go into the ground as we're dancing. And so sometimes, you know, especially when there's certain dances for veterans and such, that we are sending prayers for them at the same time. And so it looks like we have pictures. Yay! Yay! It's always a good thing, right? Thank you, Donna. And Donna, if you could please bring up the one picture of me in that blue dress. If you could do that. Yeah, you're going to have to maybe take Minnie's bio picture down. And then what you'll do is bring up there we go. There we go. And if we could give it a solo so that people can see it. This particular picture of me was taken at the gathering of the Potawatomi Nation, and that is the nation that I am enrolled with. All I can see is Yvette Neshi Lokotz. That's what Julie's saying. Okay, hopefully you'll see the picture in just a minute. It'll be there. Okay, so and at the gathering, one of the tribal members brought all her equipment. She's a photographer, professional photographer, and she was taking pictures of different dance outfits. And this is an outfit that my mom made for me recently, I would say in the last 3 years. It's a Potawatomi dress, and it's different. It looked different than everybody else's Potawatomi dress there, because it's actually a dress from the 1940s. because the regalia also changes over time because people would, add and delete and change it up a little bit, right? And so when my mom made this dress for me, she was telling me, people are going to say that your dress is made wrong because of the length of the flounce and all of that. And I said, oh, that's okay. That's fine. But see, she wanted to make this dress for me because it has our family colors. And it's the family colors are similar, but not the same either as those clan colors coming out of Scotland and Ireland and England. Sometimes you'll see them on plaques, and so our colors happens to be a blue, red, I think it's like a royal blue, and the red and a burnt orange. And that is where she put what the colors are in the ribbon. And so those are our family colors. Now that particular dress is actually a very social dress. That's a powwow dress. That is a party dress. That is not a ceremony dress that you're going to wear to a funeral ceremony. It's too happy. It's too, yeah. So that wouldn't be a dress that I would have worn to a funeral ceremony. But so that's the color. And at powwows, especially if you're competing in a powwow, you want to draw attention to yourself. You want to have the judges look at you when you're dancing. And so the color you choose, you want it to have it be a confidence builder. Donna, is there a picture that you have of the young man wearing in the yellow, has the yellow, yeah. Okay, there he is. So this is a fancy dancer, young man. He's going to get somebody's attention. He's got a lot of color on him. Minnie, the color that's on there is that's Julie's saying Minnie's sound is like she's in another room. Well, she kind of is. She's coming through. She's coming from a room in Michigan from her house via Skype.
Yep.
So it's a phone call. So
try to speak a little louder though.
Yeah, that would be nice.
And the picture of the guy just showed up.
Oh, good.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. So when you're dancing at a powwow, you want to get the judges' attention. And so the more sparkly stuff you have on, the more somebody's going to pay attention to you, right? And of course, your dancing makes a big difference too. But I tell you what, these powwow dancers that are dancing for a living, they're on the powwow circuit, that's their career. That's their job. That means that they have thousands of dollars invested in their outfit, in their regalia. Yeah. And many times their pieces are handed down from generation to generation. So sometimes on their beadwork, they will have an old pattern, a family pattern of their beadwork. Or they'll have good luck things, like certain patterns. Somebody might even put the 4-leaf clover kind of thing as a part of their outfit. Belief systems come into play. And so when somebody wears a Native American outfit for a Halloween costume, that's why a lot of Native Americans get kind of upset about that, because they're taking something out of context. And it's being disrespectful.
No idea this is what the symbols mean.
Oh, right. So Minnie, have you been to a powwow?
I have been to bits and pieces of powwows. Like my first powwow, I think I
need to speak up, please.
Or at least the first dance that I saw was in Santa Fe, New Mexico, on vacation with my family. Where I saw Native American dancers in their regalia. I believe they were Pueblo. And I was about 6 or 7. And I was fascinated. I loved it. They look like giant birds up there dancing in these bright colors. I remember turquoise being a color that really stood out for me. But lots of red and orange and yellow. And the drums, of course, I was drawn to as well. But it was so beautiful. I'd never seen anything like that before. And, made a big impression at a very young age.
Yeah.
And my mom loved Native American. Like, we went on vacations out west, and we visited a lot of native sites because she was very drawn to that. So, and I remember all the dolls in the stores, that they were all in different dresses that I wanted all of them.
Yeah.
They were in like real buckskin with beads. And
beautiful. Yeah.
And they were all too expensive,
Were they dolls or were they kachinas?
They were dolls.
Wow.
Because I wanted them, No, I see kachinas. I love them too. But no, these were dolls in dance regalia, all different colors.
Yeah.
So that was my first impression of Native American dance.
Yeah.
And regalia that way. Yeah.
Well, thanks for that. Donna, have you been to a powwow?
I have a couple of powwows. You guys hear me?
Oh, your sound is kind of wobbly. Maybe you're meant to drive the bus. No, let's try it again. Oh, you know what? Do you still have your Facebook tab up?
Yes.
Yeah, maybe if you close that.
Okay. How's that?
Oh, much better.
Whoa.
Yay.
Okay.
Say that again.
So I have been to a couple powwows. The first one I went to was probably about over 10 years ago now. And I was taken by a friend of mine who I was singing in the choir with. And she was Native American, lovely woman. And somehow she mentioned something about a powwow. And I said, oh, I've never been to a powwow. And she said, oh, you have to go. So she took me. And it was somewhere a little north of here. It was New York State.
Mm-hmm.
It was a big powwow. That's the main thing I remember about. Like, I just had no idea. It was huge. It was like a huge, big event and a big arena. And it was so fun, to be exposed to all that Native American culture all at once like that.
Yeah.
And then quite a few years went by, and about 3 or 4 years ago, I wanted to meet a man called Evan Pritchard, who's written a book called Bird Medicine.
Oh, yeah.
Book, and this was before it was published mainstream. He had just self-published it.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of, it was like obscure, a little kind of back channel thing that I heard about. And so I found out that he was appearing at this powwow just about an hour from here. So I went on this trek to go meet him. And that was really lovely. And that was a much smaller venue. It was just lovely, like small, only a couple hundred people. It was much more intimate. And I was there, I was with a friend. I think it was with a friend the first time. And then I went back the second year too. So those are my couple of experiences. But the smaller venue, I got to really be up close with a lot of the dancers. And I just enjoyed that so much, to see their costumes.
Yeah.
And all of that. So.
Again, and the thing is that because they're so pretty, and that a lot of people like to take pictures of powwow dancers. And I have to say that many times if you should be asking them if you can take their picture.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes there's pieces of their outfit that they don't want to have photographed. And unless you ask, you wouldn't know that. And generally speaking, they'll say, "Oh, sure," but they'll pose themselves on how they want their picture taken and what part of their outfit they want their picture taken. And so, yeah, I can understand that. While I remember this, I'm liking and sharing the live stream. So if I can ask you guys to do the same thing, I really would appreciate it. I'm liking it, and I'm sending it over to our main fan page at Star Nations. And I'm just saying, please join us. We're live. We're live streaming.
Hey, and while you do that, Neshi, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
So you probably just heard me say I use the word costume in regard to regalia. Is that acceptable? Like, do Native Americans ever speak about it in that way, or it's always regalia? It's not the word to use.
Yeah, and actually, I think that's where the misconception or the miscommunication is probably a better word comes in regarding non-natives wearing Native American clothing or regalia for Halloween costumes, because it's all a part of the languaging, number one, and number two, I think that it has a lot to do with what's seen on television, in movies.
Yeah, for me, it's just a natural thing as a theater person. It doesn't come from a place of disrespect. It's, right. Yeah. Your costume. What costume are you putting on today? What character are you stepping into?
Maybe that's the difference, though. Maybe that's the difference, is that because we're not putting on a character, it's who we are, right? Maybe that is the difference.
Well, it's still a special outfit, right? So it's not who you are every day, right? Around the house or.
Oh, sure.
That.
I mean, we're not wearing it around every day, but let me tell you, when there's people who are, that's their career, that's their job, they're working on their outfit almost if they're not dancing, they're working on their outfit. They're practicing. It's their life. Yeah. Yeah. For those of us that don't do powwow dancing as a career, we're still kind of, look, my mom and I took a month to make that dress. And so it's not, to us, it's not a different, we're not a character.
No, not a character. That isn't what I meant. But it's a different outfit, right? It's not an outfit that you wear every day. Just like I don't wear my wedding clothes, right?
That's true.
Or to be around the house. That's all.
Yeah. But see, I would say, and you guys might disagree with me, but I would say that anybody who would wear a Native American piece of clothing or regalia as Halloween, either they don't understand in doing it out of ignorance, really, they don't know, or if they do know and they still do it, then then I think it's kind of disrespectful, and actually now might be a good time if you could show the picture about the chiefs sitting in a row there with their head pieces on, their headdresses. No, it's the guys sitting, elderly men sitting in a row.
Come on, guys, where'd you go? Broadcast. Okay,
here they are.
Hello.
There they are. These are elders, and this is a picture coming out of Oklahoma. And if you look at their headdresses, the war bonnets, beautiful. Those are all eagle feathers. I know. And the thing is that they're warriors. They've done or said something. They've done something for their community, whether they were in a war, or they've done something to lead in their community, and they were given the right and also given the war bonnet to wear. And there's some war bonnets that actually have, it's called a trailer. There's more feathers, and it goes down the back, down your spine. And those are the people that wear those. Those are the ones that have been in war. They have been in armed conflict. Okay. And so these men have received the blessing to be able to wear all of these eagle feathers. And chances are some of those eagle feathers definitely have stories attached to them and how they earned that feather, right? So when you see non-native people wearing a headdress like this for fashion, I don't know if you have that picture or not. There was like a couple years ago, Victoria's Secret. model.
The runway show.
Yeah, that caused quite a stir for a lot of reasons, obviously.
Women in headdress.
Yeah, Minnie, if you could speak up just a little bit, because I think you just said something really.
I said naked women in headdress. Yes.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, and the thing is that this model probably didn't know any different. She was given an outfit to wear it as well as you can, right? But this is really, to look at these two pictures side by side, and so this is my soapbox this time of year, is that, is to be respectful. Because the men on the left-hand side earned the right to wear all those eagle feathers. The feathers that she's wearing obviously are not eagle feathers. Those are fake. They're probably turkey feathers or something like that. But it's the sentiment is still there. Yeah.
Becky, what do you think about the Thanksgiving dress-up costume?
Oh my. Oh my. It's the same thing. And because usually what happens is that the non-natives who choose to use that kind of costume, it's more of a caricature around Thanksgiving. It's like Native Americans are only from history, and that we're not in the present day. And so it's very similar. And, although I think that if we could take a look at Thanksgiving from a different perspective, and take it out of the hands of history, because the story around Thanksgiving that we were told through books and stuff is a lie. It didn't happen that way out east. If there were enough people out east to remember that, what happened, the story would be very, very different. So, but if we bring it into modern day, I think it's about being grateful. I think it's about being grateful for our friends and family and those that we help each other, right?
I thought it was the natives helped them survive. They would have all died if they had help.
Yeah, well, some of that is true. That is true. But the real story goes is that that a lot of Native Americans were killed during that time frame. Yeah. So it's not exactly the same story that's in the written history. The oral history is much, much different, coming from Native America. Yeah.
Or they got the smallpox.
Yeah. So
Anyways.
yeah. So there's not a whole lot of celebration across all of Native America when it comes to Thanksgiving. There's some Native Americans who celebrate it in the traditional American sense, with the turkey and all of that. Sure, there's some Native Americans that do that. But when we're talking about the costume that's worn by non-natives during that time, completely different story. Completely different. So, I'm just going to look at the time here. I wanted to make sure that we cover a couple of things. Donna, you can take those pictures down now if you'd like. Thank you. She's running that studio like a champ. Thanks, Donna. So what I wanted to do was ask the two of you that if you were aware of your own cultural lineage and the dance regalia that your ancestors wore. Minnie, we'll start with you.
Well, my ancestors were English and Celtic, and I don't really know about their dance regalia, although I do know I'm very drawn to circle dancing and love that. And as I meditated with that, I thought, well, they wore their Celtic colors, and my colors are burgundy and dark, all shades of green. So I'm imagining that. Mm-hmm. But I do have on my husband's side, Rain is Estonian, and his family in Estonia, he still has cousins.
Oh,
and Donna,
that's
if you could
great.
put some of those pictures up of Mate, and he's a professional dancer in Estonia.
Look at that outfit.
And so Rain got all these photos from him when they were there, and he dances international. In Estonia, they have this huge festival called Festival of Song. Oh, the little elf one is amazing, isn't it?
It's great.
Photo.
Is that needlework?
Yes, it'll be embroidery.
Wow.
But they dance like every 5 years. The whole country comes together, and there's like 30,000 dancers for 80,000 audience members.
Wow.
In this giant outdoor kind of like band shell. It's huge, that Rain got to see when he was there.
Uh-huh.
And I think that in the red and with the lady in the white, I think they're at that festival there. So it's really big, and it's called Festival of Song and Festival of Dance, and it's about keeping their heritage going and keeping the culture and the history going there with this festival. But then they probably, take 5 years to make their costumes too, I bet, Neshi.
I bet so. I mean, look at that needlework. So, and the colors, are they significant? Because I see in the picture of the round dancing that they're doing, there's red and there's yellow, there's black, it looks like, and kind of like a blue.
Well, it's interesting because I was talking to Rain about the color, and I know the Estonian colors are blue and black and white. Those are the colors of their flag.
Mm-hmm.
And my father-in-law has told me there's a couplet that goes with that. Blue for the sky, black for the land, and white for the foam on the sea.
Oh.
So their flag is stripes of color like that. So the earlier costumes were in those colors, but then Russia came and took over the country of Estonia in the 50s and brought a lot of red in. And Rain's grandmother, my great-grandmother through him, hated red because it reminded her of the Russians.
Oh.
So I think it's interesting that all these costumes that we see now have a lot of red in them, although see the little elfie one, he's got the blue. That's the Estonian blue color that he has in his hands. And the black and the white, but he's got the red sash. So I don't know if the red was influenced from Russia or the red was just a bright color that was attractive, I don't know. But I know that Granny would not like that color of dance regalia. Because she would never even wear red, you know? At all. But so that's Mate, and he's in his 30s, and he's still a professional dancer.
I would love to see him dance.
I would too.
Let's go.
Great.
Let's go to Estonia.
Yeah, exactly. I said, Rain, we need to plan our visit to Estonia when that festival happens, because I think that would be amazing to see.
They look so happy too.
And there's some story about they kept the festival going even when the Russians came and took over the country, and they used songs to keep their independence. In the words of the songs, they kept their strength and their independence, and then now they're their own country again. Yeah. With some threats happening right now on their borders, but they're a very strong country now, much stronger than before. So, but this is part of it, is the dance and the song that holds them together.
Right. And their language too, I would imagine. It's usually the combination, Yes.
And Rain's father speaks Estonian and, taught them a bit of it. Rain wishes he had learned more.
Yeah. That is so cool. And bus driver Donna, the producer Donna, are you aware of your lineage through your Celtic lineage about the dress and the regalia? A little bit? Where'd she go? Got to bring yourself up to the broadcast. There she is.
Okay. I'm somewhat aware now as an adult on my own, but it wasn't part at all of my upbringing. When I first read the question from our show notes, I thought of going to square dances with my grandpa. Honestly, like that's the closest I came to any kind of cultural dancing, and that was very much his thing. Like my dad, no, he didn't like. I don't know. He didn't like that. He wasn't a dancer, and but yeah, so I have Irish and mainly Irish heritage on my dad's side, and then Welsh on my mom's side, and there's some Scottish in there on my dad's side as well. Mm-hmm. And so, I've been aware of Irish step dancing for a while, and looking at photos and looking around the internet to prepare. It was really fun to look at all those beautiful costumes, and what grabbed me first, I hadn't really paid attention how much beautiful embroidery work, just like similar kind of Minnie to the Estonian costumes you were just talking about, like on the bodice of the girls' dresses for step dance. Mm-hmm. Beautiful, intricate embroidery and knot work, and very colorful. And I thought of right away, like I love anything embroidery. I've always loved. Like I've always been drawn to that. Yeah. So maybe there's a little connection there.
It could be, but you're even with the square dancing. Square dancing is really an adaptation of older dances brought over from Europe. Mm-hmm. And Americanized, so to speak, right? Mm-hmm. And even what I did for the show earlier this afternoon, I went out to YouTube and I took a look at, because I wanted to show people who might not have ever been to a powwow what one might look like, and so I found a video that showed the regalia, but it also talked about the different dance styles that you can find at a powwow, right, for competition dancing. And then I thought, well, let's go out there and see if we can find something about the Irish, because I've been to Ireland lots of times, and I only a couple of times did I see traditional dancing, but I found it a really cool video that showed some of the costumes, the regalia they wear now, compared to maybe the Scottish, which I also shared a video about Scotland Highland dancing, and so it's just, we're so much more alike than we are different. Every culture has their dance and has their regalia and the colors that mean something to them. I was thinking about the plaid for the Scottish, and how the plaid was very depicted clans and their colors. Right. And so in that video, you can see the different color of plaid that's being worn. So I just think it's fun. I really do.
And Neshi, remember you and I got to dance in Ireland with the Irish dancers one night in our castle after dinner.
Yes.
And those costumes those ladies were wearing were amazing. And I remember her telling us they were like thousands of dollars.
Yep. Yeah.
And there were like crystal bead work, wasn't it? Like crystal beads on there, and green and white and a little black, right?
Yep. And those were professional performing outfits that they were wearing, the regalia that those ladies were wearing that night, because they perform in front of audiences all the time. And I think she's a teacher. She was a teacher, and so she was taking her dance students to competition. Yeah.
And then those little black leather shoes, the sweet little shoes too. I loved it, and I'm so glad you and I got up and got to participate. It was so much fun, wasn't it?
I know it was. You know what? Okay, audience, you have to know this.
We'll have to post the video tomorrow.
We'll post the video tomorrow. But this is Minnie. So they were asking for volunteers, and Minnie stood straight up and said, "Me."
Pick me.
And then she turned around at the rest of us. Somebody's got to come with me. And nobody would stand up. And she looks right at me. She goes, come on, Neshi, let's go.
Well, of course I looked at the dancer. Yes.
And I did. Well, why not? It was fun.
And we had fun.
We had a blast. I think we also did a live stream show right after that. All right. So anyway, I'm just looking at my notes and looking at the time here. We just got it. We're going to go over, just so you guys know, because we got started about not quite 10 minutes after 8 or 9, I mean. So just a few minutes later, so we can fit everything in, okay? All right. So I'd like to ask both of you, what color do you wear when you want to grab attention?
Well, I'll jump in.
Sure.
So my two main colors to grab attention would be red, and that comes from my feng shui training. I mean, I actually always kind of loved red.
Yeah.
The first time I was struck by red, I senior year of high school, I was the lead in the school play. And one of my costumes I got to wear was this really tight, sexy evening dress, and it was like bright red. And I loved that dress. And even my mom made a comment of, when you stepped out on the stage in that red dress, you know. I think that was the moment in time where I was like, oh, red is a good color for me. I always got kind of reinforced by the feng shui training of, if you want to be strong and powerful and notice, wear red.
Yep.
Also for me, purple. I have really come to love purple in my last 20, 25 years. It just came in as a big color for me, and I wear it a lot. I feel good in it, look good in it.
Yeah.
So those are my two.
Makes you feel good when you wear it. Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to ask our audience that same question. You know, what color do you wear when you want to have attention? You know, and what color do you wear to be confident? Sometimes it's two different things. So, Minnie, what about you?
Well, to be confident, I would pick my burgundies and my greens because I just feel really comfortable in those kind of earthy, rich colors. But if I wanted to attract attention, I would choose red. Probably red with a contrast of black or white, so it really pops.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that would be my choice. What about you, Neshi?
Well, I have to say, I look good in black. So, and then I can always wear my turquoise jewelry with it, you know.
Uh-huh.
That's one kind of attention, and I feel confident in it. But I have to tell you that when I want attention, I usually wear fuchsia or pink. You know, hot pink usually. I think I still have the jacket. A fuchsia. I called it my power suit when I worked for the state and for the feds. So when I wanted attention, if I was doing some sort of presentation, that's what I wore. I wore that. You know, I don't know how many times I'd walk across almost all of our meetings always happened at a casino because they're native owned, right? So I'm walking across and I'd get stopped and asked questions and, you know, do you know this? Do you know that? Do you know, it's like, I don't work here. I don't know. So, you know, that's there. In my regalia outfits, I definitely like my turquoise outfit, the one that I showed you guys. That's my favorite one. My medicine dress happens to be yellow. And that dress, that color, is the spirit color for me.
Yeah, that color is beautiful on you. I love that dress on you.
Yeah.
On you. It's just gorgeous.
I'm just going to put it back up. Thank you. Thank you, Donna. She put the turquoise dress back up.
So Julie Hudgens is saying that she likes to wear black with a splash of color for confidence.
Mm-hmm.
And for attention, she chooses pink or magenta.
Ooh, and she looks good in both of those.
Yes, she does.
Yeah. You know, and you can always tell theater people.
Yeah.
That's a good thing. This is so much fun just talking about color and regalias and, and what we wear in our mundane life, right? Not our spirit, our powwow life, but our mundane life. So much fun. And I'm glad you shared that stuff about Estonia. That was fabulous. I like those outfits and just that huge round dance. That would just be a part of that.
I know. I just would love to go see that. And can you imagine participating in it? Oh, my.
I just saw something flash up from Julie Hedges again. What did she just say?
A spirit color. Can you tell us more, Neshi, about the yellow dress?
Oh, sure. Sure. Yeah, and I didn't include a picture of that. That particular dress, I had a dream about back in, I think it was 1999 or 2000. And in that dream, I was given this dress to wear. And the color was a lemon yellow color. And when I tried to find it here in the physical world, I couldn't find that. I had to get something as close as possible to it. And so when I call it a spirit color is because it was the color of the dress that spirit gave to me in that dream. And so, sometimes that happens, right? When you're having one of those significant dreams, and you receive something in that dream and you know that you have to bring it into the physical world. That's what I meant about that. It's a spiritual color for me for that particular dress.
Because the color is an energy that you're bringing, an energy for the dress that you're bringing in through the color of it.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah. And so, and so many times that when the color that you're seeing in that dream or in that vision, when you try to find it here on Earth, you very seldom do you find the exact color that you're looking for. You can get close, but it's not the same. It's not the same. Yeah. Oh, you're welcome, Julie. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah. So in the last couple minutes here, what I'd like to do is ask, we're going to start with Minnie. So if we can bring Minnie's picture up, her bio picture. There she is. Thank you, Donna. Minnie, what do you have going on for you these days, and where can people find you to join you?
Well, I have a book called Missing Nana that is still selling very well. And you can find it on my website. I'm continuing my free shipping on my website, minniekansman.com. Pretty easy. I'm continuing free shipping through the end of the year. So you want to get it for free shipping, buy it there. You can also get it at Amazon or Lulu Press. I have just been asked to teach at the Great Lakes Retreat next summer. In July, so I will be teaching a potpourri of courses, 5 single sessions, 1 class every day, and I'm not sure what all of them will be, but some of them will be about clutter clearing and organizing, because I'm really into the KonMari method of folding and organizing and clearing and letting go, so a lot of it will be about that. I have a Shinrin class. It's scheduled for this Sunday, but we have 80% of rain and thunderstorms happening all day.
Oh, no.
So I'm going to be rescheduling it for 2 weeks from Sunday. So October 29th, we'll be doing the Shinrin walk and the Force Therapy walk with the drumming for Chief Okimist. So I'll be announcing that on Facebook.
Yeah, and let me tell you, everybody, that if watch for that 29th to sign up for it, because this is something that you really, really want to be able to experience with Minnie, is the Shinrin. You really want to be able to do that. So.
Yeah, and we're just going to pray, talk to the nature spirits for some dry weather for that day, because, it's not that much fun to be drumming in the thunderstorm. I mean, maybe it is, but
I don't know. I've done it.
But, I don't really want to take people in the woods and do that.
No.
You can do it on your own. What are you guys up to?
Well, Donna, what do you have?
I am headed out to Michigan next Wednesday, and I will be out there taking Amantha Murphy's week-long apprenticeship program, Ancient Irish Shamanism. So I'm really looking forward to that. And then just after I get home, I'm going to be teaching 2 different Saturdays in a row back here in my hometown in Dobbs Ferry. 2 different Collage Quest workshops on color and spirituality with the Sacred Spirit Yoga and Healing Arts Center here in Dobbs Ferry at South Presbyterian Church.
Well, that's good. And where do people find you? You can type that in when you get done.
You can follow me on Facebook. I have a Collage Quest page called Collage Quest. And if you want more information about all my different work, collage, my healing interiors, space work, you can go to healinginteriors.com and you can reach me there.
Yay. Now, I saw you write something to Julie. Did she have another question that we didn't get to?
She did. I think she signed off, but she was asking a question about as a, let's see, as an adopted person who doesn't know her lineage, how can I learn my colors?
That.
I tried to answer her with that. I said that she might already be attracted to this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we did kind of have a little conversation about that.
Well, that's good. That's good. Yeah, the other thing you can do, Julie, is when you do meditations, is to call in your lineage. You're calling your the greatest grandmother that you have, and have her come to you and show you the colors and show you the outfits and that kind of thing, or ask them to come into your Dreamtime. You'll be very surprised at some of the things that will come through for you with that. And then, once you get that kind of information, you can always do the mental process of the research and going out to the internet and trying to find stuff, And
just looking at images, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Exactly. So, because you have it, it's there.
Yeah.
It's tapping into it and remembering it. So that's what I would suggest anyway. For me, it's all things Star Nations these days. Every waking moment, practically. We just published the Star Nations October issue. That was on the 10th. That just came out this week. And I love the cover. And I'm telling you, those cover images are picking themselves, because when I go out to search for one, it just pops out and there's nothing that compares to it, So we did that one, and we're finishing up and bringing the special issue October 23rd of the Star Nations magazine. And every year we do a special issue. For digital, it's free. And for print on demand, it's the nominal printing cost for the magazine. So PDF and web viewer, those would also be free. And so that's coming out on the 23rd of October. And that is all about Grandmother Earth. And all of the contributing writers have contributed articles about Grandmother Earth for that particular issue. And that's our thank you to our readers for buying the magazine and supporting the magazine. And so that's for you. That's a gift for you. So that's coming out on the 23rd. The big one that we've been working on, huge, is the transition from Blog Talk Radio to Be Live TV on Facebook Livestream. And we've been doing that one for a couple months already, getting everything prepared. And this month is our first month of having live stream shows of the radio shows. So we have all 19 shows coming. That's going to be all month long. We start usually on the 2nd of every month, and we go all the way to the last Thursday of a month. and everything in between. We have at least a couple shows every week. And working with all of the hosts so that they learn how to run the studio when they need to. Thank you, Donna. You did a fabulous job tonight.
Yeah,
you did.
Thank you, Donna.
And the other thing is that something that Donna mentioned, the Academy. The Academy still has some classes, and the one coming up October 21st through the 27th is Irish Shamanism with Amantha Murphy. And that's a week long. That's the first time she's done this here. A week long at Star Nations at the East in Lowell, Michigan. And this one is about an apprenticeship. And it's co-ed. It's both male and female students, which she hardly ever does. She usually does just women classes. And so this is kind of special. So Donna, you're gonna love it, and I can't wait to hear the stories. It's gonna be a good one. And also, we have something coming up. Minnie, aren't you doing a book signing at Star Nations East?
Oh, that's right. How could I forget? November 3rd, Saturday, I'll be doing a Playing with the Elementals workshop and book signing at Star Nations East. So we'll be doing kind of a Shinrin Forest walk and lining it up with the book and how Sylvia speaks to each of the 4 elementals, and we'll be doing that in class out in the forest at Star Nations.
And what was the date again?
The 3rd of November.
November 3rd. And so you can go to starnations.org and go to the Academy button and click on that, and you'll have all kinds of information about the classes coming up for the Academy. Okay. One last thing. And you guys don't even know about this one yet, my co-hosts.
Whoa.
Oh, all right. So earlier, I think it was last week, midweek or toward the end of the week, Be Live TV on their homepage for Facebook, they announced that October 16th is the first birthday of Be Live. And they're doing a birthday bash. They are doing a day-long birthday conference. And so they've invited hosts that are using Be Live to come and host a short show, a lightning round, so to speak.
Oh, wow.
And so they were asking all of us that are part of Be Live at that level if we would be willing to do this. And so if we did, we had to send in our name and a short description of what we wanted to do. So I thought, what the heck? Why not? And so I put Star Nations organization in for it. And the description was about community building, because I think we have a fantastic community and how much we love them and they love us, right? And so that's what, and they selected me to do a 10-minute show, a lightning round show on Monday, October 16th. I'll be on at 2:20 Eastern time. And so for 10 minutes, I get to talk about Star Nations and our community and how we're using Be Live to reach our community. Yeah.
Yay. Congratulations.
Yay. So if you're available, pop on in. Let's show them how Star Nations can represent.
Yep.
Love it.
Yep.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody, for joining Star Nations Radio Network and Spirit of Color tonight. We enjoyed our time with you. And so, ladies, if you have last words, Minnie?
Find out what your heritage is and find out what the dance regalia is and do some dancing. I think it'd be really fun.
Okay, great. Donna?
Just enjoy your colors, just tune in, and the more colors, the better. Wear them, snuggle up in them. They're medicine.
As she whips around her navy blue and an orange shawl.
This is my rainbow shawl.
Oh, it isn't. Okay. Well, and Minnie, if you wouldn't mind hanging out just for a second, and after we close, okay? Because I have something to share with you. And so, everybody, thank you so much. We appreciate you being with us. And for those who are watching the video of this show, thank you so much. And we'll see you next month on the third Thursday of the month.
Yeah.
And we'll be back in November on the third Thursday. So good night, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.
Good night. You can put the frame back on.